Okay, so today is a day, and we got some stuff in the mail. We got the transmission rebuild kit, I got the HD2 kit. So right now I'm on my way to Fleet Farm. I'm going to pick up some transmission fluid so I can soak the clutches and get everything installed. Let's go get some fluid. Got everything here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get to the bottom of this thing, and I'm going to get all the clutches and steels and everything out. Here, so what I'm going to do is take just all of the clutches and pull these out because I'm going to soak all of these. So I took the 2 quarts that I bought, put it inside this pan, and now I'm going to open these up and dip them in the pan. Okay, so we got all of the clutches soaking in the pan. See kind of quite a range on suggestions on how long you should soak them. Some don't even soak them. Some say 5 minutes, 15 minutes, some say 24 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in there and I'm going to let them soak while I'm taking all of the bushings out that I need. So that's probably going to take me a while to get the bushings out. I'm going to let them soak and then I'll let them hang and dry. Let's get started on the bushings. Okay, so I got this bushing replaced here. Just kind of came in from the backside and popped it out with a flathead, and then I used a little hand press to press the thing in there. It was actually pretty difficult to do it, so I'm going to be a little bit more selective on which bushings I replace because I don't really have the tools for it. I have a press, but it's not a very strong press. Just going to go through and do a good inspection on the bushings and then decide which ones I'm going to replace. The press I used is this little hand guy right here, and it works, but it's pretty difficult to do it. So instead of ripping all the bushings out and then possibly not being able to get them in or damaging the new ones, I think I'm just gonna be very careful and probably not change all of them, but I'll change some of them if they're bad. That's gonna take a while, so I'll leave that part out. Okay, so the first piece of the kit that I'm gonna replace right here is this little roller sprag. This is the old one. You can see it's kind of worn around the top edges. Some metal shavings coming off there. So this is going to get replaced and the new one's already in. Okay, so along with the roller sprag, it's also getting a new Torrington bearing and it's getting a new washer. Alright guys, the transmission rebuild is all done. It's ready to go back in, and I'm just kidding. I just found on the center support when I was going to replace these ceiling rings that this thing is all galled up right here. So you can see that this section down here is like nice and smooth, and then there's a clear line where there's some wear. So this is actually worn down quite a bit. It's actually worn down quite a bit in this section, and it's all gritty, and there you can see it a little bit better. All the way around, it's kind of all galled up and a bunch of chunks hanging off of it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and replace this, but that's going to set me back a few days at least because I'm going to have to order one, try to find one. But because I'm just not really comfortable at this point with putting this back in there because of how this thing looks. So you can see like this section right here, it's all kind of chunky and it's pretty bad. So that's probably where some of the metal came from. I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm just gonna replace this thing. So these ceiling rings are actually so wore down that when I tried to pull this top one out, so you can see how there's that groove that's in the middle of the ring. It's actually because there's metal that's pushed in and it was wearing a groove in, so I actually had a hard time pulling this out because the outside is wider than the center of it, so I could barely get it out because of all that metal that's pushed over. So other than that, this is the piston for this section. I did go and replace these lip seals, so both of these lip seals are replaced, so this is good to go. I'm just not really very comfortable with this and putting that back in there right now. So I think what I'm going to do is try to find a new center support. Maybe I could get the whole assembly already rebuilt and I wouldn't have to mess with it, but I'll probably just try to get the center support and then throw the new parts in it. So that's going to set me back a little bit. So I will go ahead and replace the parts for the other drums, the forward direct and the overrun drum. I'll go ahead and assemble those completely, so by the time the new part gets here, I'll just be able to throw it together. I do also have the Transgo HD2 kit, which I'm going to make a video on. This will kind of give me some time to start working on that. I can start working on the valve body and all the modifications that I need to do for the HD2 kit and everything else, and I'll make a video on that and show you guys how to do that thing. So kind of disappointed a little bit. I don't feel comfortable just throwing it together, so I'm going to do it and try to do it the right way. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.